Imagine a moment before the universe existed. No galaxies, no Earth, no sky, no time, only endless darkness. But God was already there. He needed no beginning, no creator, no source. Before anything existed, God simply was.
The earth had been created, but it was still unfinished, formless, empty, covered by deep waters and darkness. Then creation paused, as if the universe itself was waiting for its creator to speak.
Then God spoke his first recorded words, a command so powerful it would change reality itself. And instantly, light appeared, not slowly, not over millions of years. The darkness was pierced by the command of God. For the first time, light and darkness stood apart. Creation could now see what had once been hidden. God looked upon his work and declared it good. The first day of creation had come to an end, and the story of our universe had only just begun. The second day began with a world unlike the one we know today. There were no mountains, no forests, no beaches, only water stretching in every direction. Then God spoke once more. The one who brought light into existence was about to give shape to the heavens above. At God's command, the waters began to separate. Some remained below, others moved above. A great division was taking place. Where there had once been only water, an enormous expanse appeared, a vast space unlike anything creation had yet seen. The empty world now had a sky, a place where clouds would one day drift, where birds would one day fly, and where mankind would one day look up in wonder. For the first time, creation was beginning to look like a home. The heavens above, the waters below, everything exactly where God intended. The second day was complete. The sky stretched over the waters, waiting for what God would create next. And the earth's story was only beginning.
On the third day, God spoke again, and something extraordinary happened. The waters that covered the earth began to, but exactly where their creator commanded them to go.
As the waters gathered together, something hidden began to appear. Land that had never been seen before. The earth was finally taking shape. Mountains climbed toward the sky, valleys stretched across the landscape, coastlines formed along the oceans. For the first time, the world looked like a place prepared for life. The land was beautiful, but it was still empty. No forests, no flowers, no fields of green, only a silent world waiting for its next command. Then God spoke once more, and life appeared where there had only been dust and stone. The ground itself responded to its creator. Green covered the earth, field after field, hill after hill. The once empty land became alive with color and beauty.
Flowers opened for the very first time. Colors that had never existed before now covered the world. Creation was becoming more beautiful with every passing moment.
Then came the trees. From small beginnings, great forests rose across the land, each carrying seeds for generations yet to come. What began as a dark and empty world was now filled with life. The earth was ready, but God's work was far from finished. The third day came to an end. The seas had found their place, the land had appeared, and life had begun to cover the earth. Tomorrow, the heavens themselves would change. The earth was alive. Forests covered the land. Oceans filled their boundaries. But something was still missing. The heavens above were not yet complete. Now God's attention turned toward the heavens. The sky that had been prepared on the second day was about to receive lights that would guide the world for generations to come. God placed a great light in the heavens, a ruler of the day. Its warmth would nourish the earth. Its light would mark the passing of time. For the first time, the world witnessed a sunrise. Golden light swept across mountains and valleys, revealing the beauty God had already created.
As darkness returned, God appointed another light. Gentler, softer, a light to govern the night. The night was no longer empty. Moonlight now watched over the sleeping earth, casting silver reflections across the waters. Then God filled the heavens with stars, countless lights scattered across the darkness, more than any human could ever number. Across the universe, vast galaxies stretched through space, every star, every cluster, every distant light placed exactly where God intended. The heavenly lights would do more than shine. They would mark days and nights, seasons and years, helping future generations measure the rhythm of life.
The fourth day came to an end. The heavens were now filled with lights. The earth had its days, but the skies and seas were still waiting for life.
The earth was now filled with beauty. Forests covered the land, rivers flowed to the sea, the sun ruled the day, the stars ruled the night. Yet one thing was still missing: life.
Beneath the waves, the oceans waited. A world prepared by God, but not yet filled. That was about to change.
The quiet oceans would not remain empty for long. Life was beginning to appear beneath the waves.
Before long, the seas were filled with living creatures. The waters moved with color, beauty, and life.
From the smallest fish to the great creatures of the deep, the oceans burst with life. Every creature moved according to the wisdom of its creator.
The silent seas became a living world. Every direction revealed movement. Every corner of the ocean displayed the creativity of God. But above the earth, the skies were still waiting. A vast kingdom with no wings.
Then the heavens received their first living creature. For the first time, wings carried life across the sky.
Birds filled the heavens. Some soared high above the mountains, others danced above rivers and forests. The empty sky was empty no longer. Below, the seas teemed with life. Above, wings filled the heavens. Everywhere creation moved with purpose. God blessed the creatures he had made. The seas were alive, the skies were alive, and creation was preparing for its greatest day yet. The fifth day came to an end. The oceans were full, the heavens were full, but the land still waited for its inhabitants. Tomorrow, the earth itself would come alive. The earth was now full of beauty. The seas were alive, the skies were filled with wings, but the land was still waiting for its inhabitants. Then God filled the land with living creatures. Animals began to roam across the earth. Life now moved through every part of creation. Some were strong, some were gentle. Some would run across open plains, others would live among forests and hills. The earth that had once been empty was now full of life. Every region had its creatures, every landscape had its inhabitants. Creation was beautiful, yet something unique had not been made. Someone who could know God, learn from him, and care for his creation. Then God did something he had not done with any other creature. He formed a man from the dust of the ground. This creation would be unlike all the rest.
God breathed the breath of life into him, and the man became a living being. His name was Adam. Adam opened his eyes to a world prepared for him, a world filled with beauty, order, and life.
The sixth day came to an end. The earth was full, the seas were full, the skies were full, and humanity had entered God's creation. Adam lived in a world filled with beauty. Yet among all the living creatures, he stood alone. There was no companion like him.
God knew what Adam needed. As evening settled over the garden, Adam fell into a deep sleep. The Creator was preparing something wonderful.
When Adam awoke, he would discover that he was no longer alone. God had prepared a companion for him. From Adam, God created a woman, not from the ground like the animals, but from Adam himself. She was created to stand beside him. The garden became their home. Every river, every tree, and every living creature revealed the goodness of their Creator. In this perfect world, humanity took its first steps, a world untouched by sorrow, a world prepared by God Himself. The heavens were complete, the earth was complete, the seas were full of life, the skies were full of wings, and humanity now walked upon the earth. Then came the seventh day. Nothing more needed to be created. The work was finished. The world was ready. God rested from His work, not because He was weary, but because creation was complete. Everything He intended to make had been made. A story that began in darkness had become a world filled with light, beauty, and life. And humanity's story was only beginning.